Hi, welcome to Higgsy'S Man Cave, Suzuki Gt550 Part 2. So today I'm going to start on the engine. I'm going to start stripping that and getting stuff ready for the various operations. But let me just take you around the workshop to start with, just to show you where we're at so far. So, there's the engine. We've got a box there for the general bits and pieces. It's got all the tools ready. There's a box there for all the zinking. On the next bench, here's the major parts ready for going to work to get vapor blasted. And then in that other box, there's a load of chrome waiting to get sorted out. Hopefully that's not going to need to be re-chromed. We should be able to just do something with that and bring it all up. There's the bodywork over there and the seat waiting to go to the painters. I am going to get it repainted. It was a tough decision because it's in such good condition, but and it's only original once, of course. But I am going to. There's Higgsy'S Man Cave. I am going to get it painted because I'm going to restore the bike. So there we go. Let's get going. Right, let's get started. Let's hope these barrels come off, huh? Managed to snap 2 exhaust studs off the centre barrel. Not happy. Well, Paul won't be happy when he has to take them out for me. Okay, the moment of truth. Big rubber hammer. I'm not going to hit it on the fins, I'm going to hit it on the ports. That sounded quite good. Heard something there. Hit it on the actual exhaust port and the inlet port with a rubber hammer. Never hit it on the fins for obvious reasons. Fins are much harder to repair. Oh, look at what you could have won. One barrel. Yeah, that's not in bad condition. No snapped exhaust studs. Paul will be happy with that one. So over to the vapor blasting pile with that one. We have liftoff. Good. No visible seizures. No leaking base gaskets, so that looks like it could be alright. Fortunately, as this is an American bike, these come with steel bores, which is a bonus, because I don't know if you know, but the UK bikes, I'm not sure if all European ones, but certainly the UK bikes came with chrome bores on these GT550s, and you couldn't re-bore them. So if the bores were gone, then you had to either buy new barrels, or you had to have them replated, re-chromed or nickel-sealed, and that was extremely expensive. Well, and virtually impossible. I mean, we did do one for a friend of mine on this GT550 a while ago, and it turned out that the bore was just ridiculously sloppy. And somebody had, it was a UK bike, somebody had actually tried to bore the nickel or chrome bores without retreating it, and then just put bigger pistons in. But you just bore in aluminium and then put in a piston. No wonder the frigging thing rattled. And my God, it did rattle. Anyway, we did actually find a company in the UK that would re-nickel it, or replate it, re-chrome plate it, whatever it was, until that technical item. Chrome plate or nickel, I'm not sure which is which, to be honest, but it's all a bit beyond me. But anyway, we managed to find a company that did parts for Formula 1 companies, and Formula 1 engines, and they replated the barrels for us, which was very good, because this bike I'm talking about, which belonged to my mate Pete Ornbrough, that had some, like I say, the pistons were new, but the bores had just worn out because somebody just bored bare aluminium, because they weren't steel liners like these ones. Anyway, this company we found replated the bores, and the good thing was he didn't have to buy pistons, because we just supplied him the new pistons that were in it, and this company, whose name I can't think of, they replated it and then honed it back to the size of the pistons we already had, which were new, in all fairness, they were new, so we didn't have to buy new pistons, and it ran beautifully. Lovely and quiet, and they did a really good job. You can see one of the studs has come out there with the nuts, and there's the one where some animal, me, snapped it off with the windy gun, trying to get it off. But there you go. So, like I say, what will happen is, let me just get a nut to see if I can show you. What will happen is, I'll get Paul or Andy to stick that nut on there, and what they'll do is they'll pull it up and they'll fill that full of weld, and then once they've got that full of weld, they'll get a spanner on it and crack it off, and hopefully that will just wind out. That one's virtually flush, so that one's a bit more difficult. So again, they'll have to hold that on there and fill that full of weld using either the TIG or the MIG, and hopefully, fingers crossed, that will come out. Because I've seen some horrendous jobs where people have started drilling these and they wander off centre, and it's a nightmare. So, which goes back to the point I was saying on the other video, that it's always best to try and get one that's as original as possible and that's not been messed about with as much as possible. If you get one that's nice and original, hopefully anything that does break, you'll be the first person to break it. It's not been broken and badly repaired in the past. It's not going to work. Again, likewise with these screws, I've got a big stock of these, all the right size, all bright zinc plated. It's really just not worth, in my opinion, getting them re-zinced. So So I just lob them, throw them away, and then just replace as and when as I'm going through it. So yeah, that's yeah, they don't look too bad, but that one's that one's a little bit. Well, all three have still got the rings intact, so chances are it was a runner at some stage. But this is badly picked up there. That's just a little bit picked up, and that one's reasonably badly picked up there. So it was a full strip down was required. Nice. Never seen the light of day since 1974. Right, that goes over in the pile. Pile of bits for my mate Paul. Told you everybody needs a Paul. My mate Paul to make a last. I don't mind being careful with this because I've got any gasket set going, but it doesn't need. It's not a bad habit to get into. Kind of nice and original that is. All the brushes and the generator and all that. Lovely. All the wires are mounted here, so before I try and take that off, take this off. Ooh, that's a bit tight. Needs a bit of persuasion. Fortunately, it's one of these screwdrivers that's metal right through, so it's perfectly okay to hit it. Shock it. So I'm sure we've all been there before, hitting plastic screwdrivers with a hammer and then exploding in your face. That's all part of the learning curve, isn't it? Right, that's again, I don't need the screw, but I do need that, and that'll go in the zinking box. Get that re-zinked, and this will all come out now. Let's take all the wires out. It's nice. It's not out of it. Oh, that's a metal cord. Yeah, that's a nice metal cord all the way through it. So we can use the real hammer, not the rubber one. There we go. There's one. It's amazing what you learn over the years. I mean, I used to just try all sorts of different screwdrivers and struggle and get spanners on them and all that kind of stuff. And then when someone explains to you that the shock of the hammer is what does it, it's not hammering the screwdriver into the head of the screw, it's the actual vibrations which loosen it. It all becomes better then. And there you go. As if by magic, that one whizzes out like it went in yesterday. Even the little locking bolts, the sprocket bolts, the Suzuki Gt550. Again, bolts, especially with the Suzuki, they haven't got the Suzuki should be ready for off. Yes, it is. So that comes off in one piece. All the oil pipes, the pump, the whole lot. Be careful, do not drop, lose that. there's a little pin, a drive pin, that just slides out. It's not held in by anything, because it goes in and it locates into the drive shaft that comes out of the gearbox. And so many people I know have wandered around the workshop with it, and sure enough, it will just fall out. So make sure you've got that. So that's gone. I love this air strap. Right, so I think now's a good time for a cup of tea and a roll up. That's what I'm going to do. See you in a bit. Back again. Cup of tea, had a fag, taking my sweatshirt off. And if any of you don't know who this is on my t-shirt, then you're probably too young to be watching this video. Right, let's get on with it. This is a great tool. How good is that? How many people struggle and wedge screwdrivers in there to lock it up and snap fingers off the basket? But no. Must try and remember to keep it out the way of the that looks like there's a bit of action. Oh God. Oh God, more bits forward. This is the starter clutch for the electric start, which is there. And it doesn't look very healthy. There's bits of it sticking out. The springs appear to have all disappeared and been chewed up over the years. Ugh, odd. That's not very nice. That is going to need a serious bit of work. It's even been rubbing on that there. Oh God. Bit of stick. Amazingly, that looks okay. This, however, oh my God. This is knackered. In fact, can you see the splits in it there? When I take this to bits, when I take this off, it will fall to bits. No, it didn't fall to bits. But look. Oh. Oh. it did fall to bits. Knackered. Completely knackered. So that is scrapola. So that's a new starter clutch I need to raid my spares department. I've got a feeling it might be the same as the Gt550. And I do have a spare Gt550 bottom end. Right, let's get the start motor out. Anyway, shut up Higgsy, tell us the story. Right. So yeah, anyway. I was riding along the A6 on the MT10SP, mind my own business, on my own. So, sunny day, sky having off work. Just had an ice cream in Kindle and woke up 5 days later in Preston major trauma unit. Right, can go in there. That gets knocked out of there, I think. Yeah, so it just taps backwards. Yeah, that goes through there. That comes through there. I suppose maybe I should have taken that off first. Yeah, so I woke up in the major trauma unit 5 days later to discover I was involved in a bike crash, and while I was out of it, I'd had quite a lot of surgery. I think I had 14 broken bones in total. Major points were smashed up pelvis, snapped off hip. Snapped off, that sounds bad, doesn't it? But it's true. Fractured skull, broken arm, dislocated shoulder, 3 or 4 vertebrae, slight fractures in the back, just all sorts of ridiculous injuries that nobody ever thinks they're going to get. Ooh. Oh, there you go. Yeah, well that was that. So I woke up with a new hip, a rebuilt jaw, strange to find random bits of metal. There you go. I'll put it in the box, I'm sure it'll work itself out one day. So yeah, I woke up after 5 days, having had all this surgery, a new hip, rebuilt jaw, and all that. So I'm very grateful for the treatment I received. They did a fantastic job. Preston Hospital were absolutely fantastic. Well, the NHS is fantastic, as we now all know. We knew anyway, but she blows. What you mustn't do is go sticking screwdrivers in there, because it's so tempting to do it, but it's there's no gasket there. It's just held together with cement, like gasket sealer. So there's no gasket there. So if you go in there with your screwdrivers and leave a mark, then your bike will forever drip oil. So that's a no-no. So what I'm going to do now is just try somewhere out with this. That's okay, that's quite loose. Now this isn't too bad here, because this isn't a crankcase face that goes to the outside world, so you can pry that a little bit, yeah, and that's good. That's okay. And also, you can pry there, because this isn't a long-term service. Yeah. Should be okay. You can understand why it's so tempting for people to try and get a screwdriver in there and raj it out. But that's the road to disaster, by the way. And again, here and here, you'll be so tempted to try and get a screwdriver in there. But that's how you knack around. Patience is the key. Now this bit here isn't onto an oil tight bit, so you can lift that. See, look how loose that is now. That's good. She pops. Finally, she pops. And although I did use screwdrivers, I used screwdrivers in areas where it wasn't part of the crankcase. I was using screwdrivers here, and you can see from the dirt, that's not part of the crankcase. Well, it is part of the crankcase, but it's not part of the oil tight bit. And this is the back edge I was talking about there. If you put screwdrivers in there, it's just going to leak oil forever. So that's happy days. So that's the crank out. So that's good. So put that to one side. The gearbox can come out in one go. Now he told me that oh yeah, that's not attached where it should be. Yeah, the gearbox, the kickstart spring was attached to itself from its mounting point. In fact, it's actually snapped. It's supposed to stick out there. So, to raise my spares development again. See what I mean about these shafts sticking to the gearbox? There's nothing holding that in for. It's not supposed to be. See how tight they are. I'm just putting that one out again. Right, make sure you don't lose these little half circlips. That goes on that bearing there. So that can go in the engine box. There's another one that was out the other bearing. Most important not to lose them. Clutch push rod seal. this because it pokes into the end of that gear shaft. So, let's take this off. Okay, so that's the oil drip plate. That comes out. This should just lift out now. Complete. That can go in there. Banking plug in the end of that shaft. That can go in there. This is the oil pump drive gear. That can come off. There's a oil drip splash plate in there. And I am going to take that off because if you don't, when you vapor blast it, it fills up with water and blast media. And as soon as you get oil in there again, it mixes in with them and it grinds your bearings to dust. Plug. So that is the crank. That's all still in one piece. Oh, that's flipping heavy. It's ready to go off. Get in there now. That can go for vapor blasting. Keep these on the right shafts. Saves a lot of guesswork when you come to put it back together. Try and keep the gear selector forks on the right shaft in the right direction. Saves a lot of hassle later on. And then the gear selector drum. Be careful not to lose these little things that you're just about to try and pop out there. Somewhere nice and safe. That can stay in, to be honest, it doesn't do any harm. So that's okay. There's a bearing in there. This can come out. Should be a little bigger here. Detailed plunger and spring. it, done deal. That's the crankcases all done, ready for tea time. Right guys, so that's it, that's the engine stripped. I've got everything sorted out now, engine components. Big box full of zinc. And like I said earlier, although I might have edited it out, it's always wise to get this wire brushed before you send it to the zinc coaters, because the finish is 10 times better if you wire brush everything first. So wire brush all that. So I've got a big pile of the aluminium engine parts, which are all going to go to work and get vapor blasted, and then the outer casings, after they've been vapor blasted, they'll go off to the polishers, blah blah blah. The crankshaft out, that's going to go off to the crank people. They're going to completely strip it and put new rods, new bearings, new seals, and it'll come like brand new. And the next episode, or possibly even later on in this episode, we're going to show you at work how we vapor blast it and get everything ready to go back together. Okay, so thanks again for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe again, if you don't mind, and then you can get notified next time I do another one of these videos, which will probably be in about 3 or 4 days. But thanks again, and see you next time. Cheers.